we had a catch up with agile coaches from Tetra Pak.
Tetra Pak, okay, yes, Sweden.
But they visited us here, so we just talked about what do we see in our organizations, overlaps, patterns, whatever. Very good, very nice chat. It's actually
cool.
very nice to have a nice chat
instead
of.
Yes, I do agree. You're good at that. You're really good at having these chats. I think so.
I'm so horrible at that. I guess
No.
maybe it's.
What makes you horrible at that?
I think I don't connect with people much. It's for the most part, it's it stays only like in the moment,
Yeah.
I talk to someone and there's the end of the talk and there's the end of any connection.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to initiate a conversation, knowledge sharing, something like this. It's hard for me to build a connection as part of this.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense a lot. So is that something in you that is avoiding that, or?
I think there's no, it's the lack of ability to do it naturally. That I need to focus on doing that. And if I don't have focus on that, I focus on facts and figures. And people, as we discussed many times, people are not facts and figures oriented.
That's true. Very nice insight to have of yourself, right? So if you believe it's an issue or problem or a improvement area, then you at the same time have something that is resisting, right? So you're consisting of both wanted to, but something is making you not do it, right? So looking at the want to, what do you gain by it? What do you actually get of it if you connect when you have done it?
You know what? I'm not sure if it's resisting, or maybe it is. But the first thing I thought about is it's like note taking during the meeting. In a sense of I need to send minutes of meeting, and I won't do that unless I'm asked to. It's not part of me to do that. But maybe there is something related to the resistance. Like
It's like something that prevents you. It's resistant. It's not like I don't want it to, but it's like it doesn't come natural, right? It's a hard. I think that word resistance might be the wrong word, but that's the only word we are reluctant to do it, or you are less natural feeling to do it. Like coming home saying, "Yes, I need to write a text for somebody," and then so that's the resistance I was talking about. It's not really resistance like I won't do it, but it's more like it's not natural. I think that's a softer word, right?
And then why is it not natural? That's the question. Then I don't really know. Is it related to being on the spectrum? Probably. Maybe it's more natural for me to focus on facts and figures. Why don't I remember to make this like an explicit part of, I can plan for this if I want to. And maybe I should start doing that. It's a bit like I used to go to the conferences, and I didn't do much networking. So I did the most natural thing, which is read an articles about how do you do networking, how does it work in practice.
Wow.
How are you explicit about I'm here not only to listen to interesting people talk, because I do that on YouTube. I'm here to do the networking. And guess what? There's a lot of articles and people talking about the art of networking and how do you do that. So it's more like, if you need to write down 5 things on a sticky note for yourself and just keep it with you during the event.
Yeah. So it's
Maybe,
like a competence you are looking for in that sense. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. But is there also a belief in you that says that you must do or should do or could do
I
networking?
I think it's more related to this idea that it's it's a very useful thing to do. It's very useful to have the network.
Yeah.
It's very useful in crisis. It's very useful in everyday situation.
Yeah.
It's just useful. When it's not natural, it's about usefulness for me.
Yeah. Sure. So we have a connectionness in between every every person we meet, right? Some of that connectionness is stronger than other connectionness, right? Most children has a very strong connectionness to their family, right? Especially often the mother, right? So
Yeah.
that connectionness is of course less strong with other people. So it depends on how um, brave you as a kid is to create connectionness with other people compared to the one you have with your mother, right?
Mhm.
So and that's something that you actually learn quite early in your life, meaning that it was your mother's experience to job to make sure that you are safe, but also at the same time that you were willing to explore the world, right? So it's like both things. So if she didn't provide you security for exploring the world, you are more reluctant to do that when you get older because you don't know completely how to form those relationships naturally. Let's
Yeah.
call that naturally, right? So you don't long for it.
But I think that it's naturally, you don't even need to put quotes on it, in the sense of my mother is on the spectrum, so I am on the spectrum, and
Yeah,
she didn't have this natural tendency to do this type of stuff. I don't have
yeah,
it. My older son probably won't have it as well. I also discussed with yeah, I have chats with psychologists related to kids,
yes,
and she mentioned this idea that it's a different connection you have with mother, different with father. It's a huge simplification related
yes,
to
yes,
this
yes,
idea that probably the competence in interest, you probably do that with your father as a son. The more emotional connection, probably that's the mother in most cases, and it's 100% how it works for for me, for my family.
yeah. We are, of course, a product of the time and the way the society has been bringing children up and having these role models of mother and father. But there's also a natural thing that already, as a foster, you are creating connectionness with your mother, the one who is carrying you, right? So there's of course something we cannot change in that. Set on that side, I I read a very interesting on neuroaffective psychology,
Yeah.
a piece of that it's never too late actually to train this connectionness. It's not, you're able actually to train it. It doesn't mean that you will become an expert
Yeah,
in it,
I agree.
right? So it's like if you're a kid, I'm just doing an analogy for it. If you're a kid that is moving from Poland to Denmark, right? And you already talk Polish really good, but then you are 6 years old and you get to Denmark, then it takes around half a year to learn Danish, right? But if you're an adult moving
You
from
never
Poland to
learn it.
Denmark, you might never learn it, right? Depending on how much effort you put in. At least it takes a lot of effort. And even though you put a lot of effort in, you will never master it.
Yeah.
But the kid will take like a half a year, right? So there's a window of opportunity for growing those paths in our minds, right? And for this relationship, fundamental thing is within the first 3 years of our life. But we can, and that's the positive thing about it, we can actually train it, we can practice it to become better and get more, what do you call that, secure relations and give that to our children. So it's not like I got it from my mom, I have it myself, my kids gets it. We can do something about it, but we need to do it, right? You need to learn Danish or whatever you want to call it, right? So
yeah, I agree that it's a bit like that's probably a tired metaphor, but like a bit like a muscle. Maybe it's difficult to become a competitive muscle builder, whatever, at the age of 45, but you still can do something about it.
Yes. And doing something about it yourself in the age of 45 will help your relation with your kids, because you will start training and get the skill, and they will model it and they will see it in you. They won't be conscious about it, but subconscious they will model you, right? So that will actually help you in your relationship going forward. And maybe here we have a chance to cut the chain of inherited this down the line just because you want to learn Danish, right? I mean, I think you should go to that language course and learn Danish.
It's already cut. My kids are natives, bilingual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.